Okay, everybody. This is Sheets, and I guess welcome to, I guess, the first edition of DGen Saturday, I suppose. Um, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, except just to let you know, I'm dealing with all sports right now. So if you guys want to come in and ask me about pretty much anything, I'll be more than happy to discuss. What I am going to do right now is I'm going to be updating the NBA projections, and then probably next is going to probably update the MLB um, projections, and I'll just be doing that kind of in the background while I do my other stuff. There's a lot. There's just a lot going on. There's the soccer slate just ended. I did actually pretty well in that, and then the LOL slate is ongoing. I don't know how to judge how I'm doing in that exactly because I didn't have anybody really from that first game, from that first match, and it didn't really smash, but it didn't really bust either. So it's kind of hard to tell. Um, I do know that I need this next one to sort of bust, so at least I have something to root for. Um, So that's what's going on here. Um, Obviously, the big news in the NBA slate is that Luka is out. So it opens up, I believe, a lot of value for guys like guys maybe you don't really want to play, but I mean, you get like uh, Maxi Kleber, Jalen Brunson, guys like that. Um, so I guess what I'll do is I'm going to first, I'll just take like random questions out here. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to attempt to, hey, what's up, Joanne? I'm going to attempt to update projections, but baseball, it's actually, let me just see about if I can even do it yet. Yeah, I think I can do this. I think. Just not quite getting the pictures yet. So I'm going to have to wait a little bit for the, I think we're just going to have to wait a little bit for the baseball ones to update. Am I playing on Fanduel for NBA? I wasn't planning on it, but I might. I'm definitely going to update projections for it. That's going to be happening any minute now. Hey, what's up, Brody? So I'm going to be updating the projections for it, and then I'll take a look. I may have missed the good tournaments. I may have missed the good tournaments on FanDuel, but I might. Let me just see what it looks like. So right now, again, this is going on in the background. I'm updating NBA projections. I don't really see there's going to be that much of a change, unless something's happened in the last few minutes. But I'm going to do it anyway, just to be timely. And then we'll upload those, and then we'll take a look and see what anything like, see what people like. And then we'll talk about the stacks as well in the early slate, and then if we want to touch on the late slate, we can. I didn't look too much at it, but we'll definitely give it a roll. And then with any luck, we'll be able to sweat some of this LOL stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able, just so you guys know, I don't think I'm going to be able to update the, whatchamacallit, the, what's the sport I'm looking for? The, the NASCAR. I'm not going to be able to update the NASCAR later just because I don't think the starting spots are going to come in before I have to leave. And I have a Passover Seder tonight. So I'm leaving here probably at about 4:30, maybe a little bit earlier than that. So I'm going to try to take care of whatever DFS stuff I can before I leave. And the NASCAR ones don't even don't even I won't even know what the starting positions are, I don't think, until after that. Okay. And one thing I did notice, Rhodey, when we get into it, and we'll talk about Major League Baseball in a little bit, is, and this is just going to be something that you have to get used to, especially when you're watching me review my stuff, is that who I think are my favorite stacks, are not exactly going to be the same as who I actually end up playing, right? Because if I like a low, a high owned stack, unless I can find good low owned pitchers, I'm just not going to do it, right? And like my initial builds this morning, for example, if you asked me who the top performing stack was going to be, it was probably going to be Toronto, but I was probably going to have 0 of it in my actual lineups. And I think that when you understand that, you're going to be just that much closer to really being locked into the way DFS works. All right, hold on. Let's update Fanduel NBA, and we'll update. Hopefully, we can update Yahoo. I don't know if anybody's playing Yahoo, but I'm going to update it anyway. And then I will see what it looks like, and then I will upload it to the site, and then we can talk about it. So that's what the order. We're going to do NBA first, I think. So let me just take a look and see what they look like. And then we'll put it up here. Okay, I like the way it looks. And then let me see this one. FanDuel is now done, and now Yahoo is, I think, going to be done. Yeah, Yahoo too. So let's now update it to the site. And then we could talk about it. And I definitely think it's important to talk about it player by player, then also in the context of builds and slates and things like that. So let's first do this. Okay, NBA slates have now been updated. Let me just confirm that by going to TrueDFS and see. Usually I have Mark or somebody confirm this for me, but no big deal. I can do this. In basketball, let's see. Last updated 12:08. All right, looks good. Okay, so Joanne, you're 6 for 6 in golf thanks to you and Bobby. Well, certainly not thanks to me, because I got no one 6 of 6. So I'm glad you were able to put the two of us together and get a 6 of 6. I got 0. Good for you. Let's go, Joanne. Let's get that done. So let's look at the NBA first, only because again I don't have my MLB projections updated quite yet. So let's talk about the NBA first. If you want, just for today, I'm going to share my screen here, and now before we get into this, I really hope that you guys had a chance to, or at least at some point have a chance to watch the video that Bobby and Mark and everybody did with Jordan from SaberSim last night to talk about the best way to use that. It's by no means completely comprehensive, but I think we covered quite a bit, and I hopefully was able to anticipate some of the questions that usually come up. And yeah, so I do encourage people to dedicate the hour. You know what I mean? I know it's an hour of your time that's not going to result in any anything concrete. You know what I mean? Like it's pure training. It has and I know that everybody's time is valuable, and some people are like, well, it's not going to give me the picks for today, I don't want to know from it. But I do think that it is kind of an important video to watch. So when I'm looking at this is the NBA, and again, this is the way I do it, right? Before I even run builds or anything like that, I take a look and see what these projections look like and things like that. And what I'm getting right here is that Embiid and Jokic look like priorities that you're going to really want to get in. And I remember I noticed from a from a Discord post earlier. Hold on a minute. From a Discord post earlier, that Adam was saying it looked like the the chalk build was going to be something like Jokic and Embiid jamming them in and hoping that the values kind of get there. And yeah, I mean that certainly seems to make sense. The only question is, can you actually do that? Is there enough value? And this is again before I even build, and this is going to be instructive, I think, for hand builders, is that after I rate them here by a sheet's value score, which is really the best way to see who you really want in your lineups. Right? You really do want Embiid and Jokic if you can get them. But then the next thing is to figure out if you could actually get them. So the next thing I do is I will re-rank everybody by points per dollar and see what type of Ooh, am I missing Cleaver? No, I'm not. And to see really what kind of points per dollar value there really is. And the unfortunate reality, as I think Adam was alluding to in the Discord, is that the value is not particularly great. And that's what Rhodey was saying also in the Discord, is that the value here is not particularly great. So if you do, and this is before I build, this is what I'm anticipating, that if you do play, or at least try to play Jokic and Embiid together, you're going to end up like having to deal with either playing something like Kevon Looney, Reggie Bullock, Maxi Kleber, or worse. As a matter of fact, we'll do it. Let's give you an example. Like you might even get kind of like terribly under-projected guys, because what happens is if you build in a certain way, they're really going to want you to play the Embiid and Jokic come hell or high water. And then they'll even say, okay, even though this 3,800 guy probably stinks, I'd rather combine Embiid with like a 10, right, than take my chances on 27200s or 27500s to eclipse that. You think about it, that's really the concept here. Like if you have like a 12K Embiid, what's going to be better, a 12K Embiid and a 4K somebody, or say two 8Ks? And that's an interesting discussion to have over the course of several slates. So when I look at this, I do see that points per dollar wise, you have Dillon Brooks as the best, overall point per dollar play on the slate, and I think this is pretty strong at 6x actually, because all 6Xs are not the same, and 6Xs at 5,200 are pretty good. And then you have Patrick Beverly, Scotty Barnes, guys like this. So this is, if you're asking me what the plays are, like that's the plays. I mean, you want to look at Embiid and Jokic, and then you want to look at these point per dollar plays, like Dillon Brooks and guys like this. So that's the plays. Now, so how do you build your lineups, right? So it's a nice slate. I mean, it's a good 4-game slate, so you don't have to be totally kooky. And so what I'm going to do just for fun is, I mean, I'll show you what I'm doing, I guess. I think I'm allowed to do this because I'm not going to absolutely put this in quite yet, but just to show you what kind of lineups that we get. Let's do that. Well, you know what? Before I do that, I will do that. Then I'll come back to Fanduel. Sorry, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come back to Fanduel. So let's do it. Let me put the lineups into SaberSim. I know that you can get it right from the site, but I still do it just because I have other stuff going on. I still do it a different way. I do it right through SaberSim, but you can do it right through the site if you subscribe there. And so what I'll do is if I build, and then I'll show you what I did. So if I build, let's say 23 lineups just for the hell of it, okay? So it's building 500, it's listing the top 23. So it's looking like it's not gonna, that you can play these Embiid and Jokic's, but when you look at this from an ownership perspective, this is kind of interesting, is that the guy who locks in for me at my first run is actually Dinwiddie, which is kind of cool, right? I mean, when you think about it, it is kind of cool that he doesn't rate as the best point per dollar play on the slate, doesn't rate as the best sheet value score on the slate, but he's the guy that gets locked in because he makes everything else, I guess, kind of work. And that's why, again, like it's just a different approach when you're looking at players as opposed to looking at lineups, right? And if you look at this, I got Embiid in about 65%. I got Jokic in about 47%, which means that you're not going to get the two of them together and all that many. And that's kind of what I like to do is I'll go through, and then I'll go through these lineups and I'll look at these exposures, and then I'll see if I want to trim anybody down for some reason. I mean, sometimes I'll do it, sometimes I won't. One thing I notice here, I get this Andrew Wiggins just right on the number. So I got to see what that's all about. And that's kind of what I'm going to end up doing. I got on a 4-game slate. You don't have to do anything funny like intentionally keep your, your your salary one way or the other, whatever it is. But then when you can think about it, it's okay, do I really want Dorian Finney-Smith? And I'll do this stuff. And as I mentioned this on the video, like if I don't want to play XYZ, I'll have no problem Xing one of these guys out. And as we went over, when you X a guy out, SaberSim, if you use SaberSim, goes ahead and rebuilds everything for you, which is kind of cool, So that is wait, so 1 second, I have to deal with family issues. 1 second. Let's see what this says. Okay, very good. Okay, so that is the deal with DraftKings, and then what I'll do is I will whatchamacallit. By the way, if you have any questions on anything at all that's going on today, whether it be, and I'm going to get to it. I'm going to probably get to MMA. I mean, I'm here for a little while, so I'm going to get to all kinds of stuff. But the first thing I want to do is go back to Fanduel, because I did promise, and I'm going to look at Fanduel and see what that looks like. Okay, let me just do this for a second. Just save some lineups just so I don't forget. And good. Okay. Now let's take a look at Fanduel now. Let's pull this up. Okay, we're going to do the same exact approach for Fanduel. I got a silence. How about this? Silence? Does that work? No? Oh, it silences the handset, but not the cordless. Okay, I'll figure it out. Get this new phone system here. All right, so for Fanduel, if you rate it here, let's look at it first by sheets value score. Oh, wait, am I a fish? Oh my God, I'm the worst. Why didn't anybody stop me? Okay, so that entire, I'm really sorry, but that entire analysis, I had the Fanduel sheets up. I'm so sorry. That's why this is DGen Saturday. So whatever I said, remember the My Cousin Vinny scene where the guy did the whole opening statement or whatever it is? And then they asked Vinny, Mike, whatchamacallit, Joe Pesci to come out there and talk. And they said, well, what do you say? He says, everything out there that guy just said was bullshit. It's pretty much what my comment is about my DraftKings analysis, because that was all with my Fanduel sheets up there. So the good thing is with DraftKings, it's even worse, right? Because you do see that Jokic and Embiid do kind of like lay over the field here. And as you see when you do it by points per dollar, you do see that Dinwiddie is one of the top two number one values. So that's why you'll be getting Kleber. That's why you'll be getting Dinwiddie. So I do apologize. Sorry. So just again to wrap up the NBA, DraftKings, I'm gonna build FanDuel lineups now just for fun. DraftKings, Jokic or Embiid, you'll want to get them both if you can. If you can't, you're gonna want to get at least one of them. I mean, they just lay over the field too much as far as these types of metrics go. And if you're starved for value and you want it like it's hand built, you could pick between Kleber, Dinwiddie, things like that. But let's do a FanDuel build. But before I do that, let me see what kind of contest I can play in case I feel like doing it myself. So it looks as though, yeah, I'm going to play, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one lineup if I remember to put this in. But let's build and see how this works. And this is what I would do if I were building a bunch of FanDuel lineups. Now, again, I'm doing this a little differently, and I'm going to start doing it the way that everybody else can do it, because if you build these right from the DFS, True DFS site, it's probably a lot easier. But I'm just still doing it this way for kind of my own reasons. All right, so we're uploading my projections up here, or True DFS projections, and let's build 20 lineups with the default 20 max sliders, and then we will see what we have here and see what we come up with. I imagine we'll be able to play Embiid about 75%. Again, Stephen Curry, but you know what? Apparently this is a minutes limit. See, this is an example where I don't think Saberson kind of handles this right. Like if there's any kind of minutes limit on Curry, he's getting X'd. So I would X him. I can't play a guy with a minutes limit like that. So this is what my exposure would look like if I were playing. Probably like 85% Embiid. But what's interesting is that, well, yeah, because of the position eligibility, you can't really get both. And you could, but getting both Jokic and Embiid's kind of tough. But I mean, using that utility, I mean, you probably should look at you have Embiid actually as a power forward. Oh, they're so ridiculous. That they did that just so that you could play these two guys. I'm pretty confident of that. So you know what? Let's put some stuff in anyway. Even though this is like for a smaller slate, I'm gonna actually do this. So we're gonna play this one. It's kind of the secondary FanDuel lottery now, because it's sold out, the first one, and this one's only 5K for first. But you know what? Let's not scoff at 5K. I'm sure everybody here would be happy to win 5K, as would I. And just to win anything is a big deal. And then what I'll do is I'll take a look at my top one. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll put that in the slam or something like that. I'm not playing the monster or anything like that today, but maybe in the slam for the 55, I might do that. Okay. So I did do that actually. Okay, so feel free, questions whenever you want, but let me just take a look at a couple of things that are going on now in DGen Saturday before I get started. So let's see what happened in that European Masters one. Okay, it looks like they didn't smash the KP, but let's just take a look at it. Let me just see. K Corp versus Team Phantasma. It was, let's see, the kills were 22-3. Is that going to be enough? That could be enough to make me annoyed. These European Masters have been pretty bloody, so maybe 22 kills is not going to be enough to break the slate. It's possible. You have Sakin, who at 44, so he's kind of the top overall performer right now. Let me see what the top overall score here is on this slate. I think someone's coming in here. No, nobody's coming. I thought somebody was coming in. I'll do the highest exposure in a second. So it looks as though this KCLDLC, this build is leading, but no, this is all bad. So I think that so far we're in decent shape. I still think we can get there. So let me go back to it, K9, and I'll let you know who the top. It was actually, hang on. Highest exposures on the Fanduel build, and it saves them for you right here, is that was based on one lineup. And when I go to 20, it was Embiid, and then Barnes, Brunson. And then just for fun, if I extend this to 150, let's see, I like to do this. So let's see what it looks like. So Embiid at 80% would be the highest across like 150 lineups. And then you'll see that like a whole bunch of this stuff kind of in the middle, like Barnes, Poole, Dylan Brooks, Dinwiddie, guys like that. So now what I want to do is again try to see if can update the baseball, because it doesn't look like much is updating, which is a little bit annoying. Let me see if I can do this. So what I'm going to do now again is I'm going to unshare my screen for a moment. Just make it easier on me if I do that. So I'm going to unshare my screen. I'll keep the chat open to answer questions. And in the meanwhile, what I'm going to do is update the MLB as best as I can. And this is going to be for the early slate. And Rody, who did you put in your well, as much as you want to tell here, I mean, who are your favorite, while I update this, like, so who are your favorite plays in the early slate in the MLB? What you talk about, DraftKings, Fanduel, whatever, and then I'll go over mine once I kind of redo this, because I think it's going to change. I think it's going to change for me. Some of these pitchers seem kind of fishy. Let's see something. Oh, that's the main. And what I did, by the way, I mean, I'll tell you, it's really tilting what FanDuel does with the different early slates, the late slates, calling one very early versus early, whatever it is. So I just named the early one. For FanDuel, the early one is the very early one. If that makes any sense. But I'd like to think that you guys can figure it out, right, based on what's out there. I'm working on it. We got time. It's 12:30. Plenty of time. Fanduel. That's gonna be the very early slate. Ridiculous. Oh, I don't know what else they're supposed to do. I mean, I'm not saying that they're tilting, but I mean, because one is kind of earlier than the main, right? Doesn't make it necessarily early. Where's Fanduel? Okay. I think my first run at some kind of weird pitchers. I'm gonna give another look at this. I know I don't like. I don't think you could pay me to play Carlos Carrasco. I mean, you could pay me, but it would have to be a lot. Let me update. Still updating the MLBs. Oh, I see, because we have new starting lineups, maybe. Let's take a look. MLB. And then we'll do DraftKings. We'll do both, DraftKings and FanDuel for this source. And we might have horse racing action. We got all kinds of stuff going on today. And we'll talk about MMA also. Tough card. Very tough card. Okay, we did almost done with DraftKings. Then we're going to do FanDuel. It's hard. I mean, it's just a little hard to do baseball with the different slates. I mean, it's hard on my end. It's not hard really, but it's pretty time consuming. Let's see. Okay, almost. Well, what do you guys like in the? What are you guys thinking of playing in the early slate, if anything? Guys liking the Mets at all? That was my first run. Was just Mets, and Arizona. FanDuel 3. Let's see, so do I do DraftKings yet? Hold on, almost done. It's 12:34, so. All right, so we're going to try it this way. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. Almost done. Sorry. MLB. No, not working. Almost going to work. I wonder if it works if I upload it this way. I'm literally talking to myself, but like right now on my end, it looks a little weird, but it's possible that with Evan's master coding, it actually makes it to where it needs to go. Ooh, it's possible. Yeah, I think this is going to work. I don't know how this is going to work, but well, let's see what happens. We're going to upload these. How is it possible that this works? Well, we're going to upload them. We're going to gamble. And I'll let you know what we like. It's 12:36. We got plenty of time. Don't worry about it. Plenty of time. Oh, I know what I have to do. Ah, sneaky. Okay. We got to save it as the early slate. This is brutal. Okay. Early slate. And then MLB DK stacks. Save as early slate. And we're gonna get to some content in a second. Fanduel. Save as early slate. Hope you guys like this Michael Kopech. Okay. Early slate. Now we can upload it maybe. And then we'll make sure it takes, and then we'll come back and look at it. Well, I cannot believe this worked, if it in fact worked. I doubt it worked, but we'll see. Hey, if we win, it worked. All right, so now let's take a look at MLB projections early games. Any chance this worked? Let's see. If it did, then I'll share it. How about that? Oh, the suspense is terrible. Wow, look at that. Okay. So let's open all this and take a look at what it looks like, and then we'll actually build lineups. Okay, so DraftKings first. Let me pull up also my DraftKings app, I guess. So right here, I'm getting actually Michael Kopech or Mitch Kopech, whatever, as the top pitcher by a pretty sizable amount. And that's why I'm 30% ownership. Certainly makes a lot of sense. Next best pitcher I have is again, it's paying down again to this Nick Martinez character. So if you ask me who my favorite pitchers are, this is what it would be. It would be paying down for Kopech and Martinez. And then if I'm going to look at stacks, now again, this is a question people ask all the time. How do you rank these guys? Well, it depends on what your pitcher's like. So if you're able to pay down for pitching, I don't even need to rank it by any kind of value. I could just rank these by raw stack and say, okay, who's getting me the most points? And the guys who get me the most points is Toronto, right? So if you play Kopech and Martinez, then you could play Toronto. But the thing is that now you're probably having some ownership things, right? You do see, by the way, I have Toronto owned less than some other teams, than White Sox and Boston. The team for me, which is interesting, is the Minnesota, because they're ranked almost the same, but there might be owned a little bit less. So in handles, I would probably prefer Minnesota to much of anybody, to almost anybody. And then I would even go to this. Um, uh, well, then you could play Toronto, but you'd want different guys. If that makes any sense. Um, who else do I like over here? Tampa would be okay, but Minnesota looks like kind of a standout. If you want to know the truth. So I like Minnesota, and I like I guess Toronto. If you were going to ask me, which stacks stand out, but then like I said, that's not the end of the story. Because it depends on how you build. It depends on how you play. If you wanted to, and I might do this in my bigger buy-in. I might just use what I just said and just kind of hand built that way. But if you are going to use SaberSim, okay, you got to be prepared for just some nonstop constant weirdness. I'm in the wrong slate. Hold on. You got to be prepared for some constant weirdness because that's those types of lineups you're going to end up getting. I'll show you. Like for example, promise you I get none of those stacks if I fade this the right way. So if I build, say, 30 lineups, I'll just show you this part now. If I build 30 lineups, given the sheets that I just kind of went through a little bit, this is just DraftKings. We'll do Fanduel in about 5 minutes. As I check to see, wait, where's the LOL slate? Where'd that go? I'll find it in a second. Oh, here it is. This is ATE BSO. Oh, this is very annoying. This one's supposed to blow up, and it's not. This is bad. Looking like a bad LOL slate. So, like here, even though, I liked Kopech, because of his ownership, I mean, I'm getting 36%, right? So what would my ownership look like on DraftKings here? It would be actually, well, what is the deal with what's the deal? Ian Anderson. You know what I mean? I'm an 11% projection, 11-point projection, yet he's still 43%. And the reason why is because there are some outlier performances which they're kind of factoring in, I think. So it's depends on what you want to do. And as far as stacks go, again, just using the SaberSim way, right? And again, you don't have to play this way. You'd be getting, for me, a whole bunch of guys I didn't mention. Right? No Minnesota, very little Toronto. You're getting a whole bunch of Kansas City and Atlanta. And you see the first lineup is listed here as Detroit. So that's the deal with baseball, man. It just depends on what you want to do and how much ownership fade you want to put in here and what kind of faith you have in these types of algorithms. So what I'm going to do, if anybody cares, is what I'm going to do today is probably go for this, first I'm going to do a little bit of homework. Let me just see 1 second. Let me just make sure there's no, oh, I see. I don't even think that, no wonder we're getting what's his name, Ian Anderson. He's not, I don't even have him as a confirmed starting yet. So this, I know exactly what happened. So what we'll do this is we will redo this. This is kind of a weird trick. So we're going to change this and we're going to put exclude unlisted players. See, this way, I think still get a projection on Ian Anderson for some reason, even though, oh no, he is, I have him starting. Sorry about that. My bad. That's my bad. I apologize. I just wanted to make sure that he's not under any pitch count limit or anything like that. No, I mean, he was bad in his last start, but didn't have particular pitch count issues. The one thing I will do, like I said, I don't think I can play Carlos Carrasco. I don't think I can do it. So I might end up Xing him out. Just really haven't quite decided yet. So what I said, what I think I might do is use for the lottery tournaments. I might do use SaberSim and do kind of like wild kooky buy-ins, wild kooky lineups, But for my big one, I'll probably go to those teams that I liked, and I'll show you what I mean, and I'll build it here for you. I mean, I won't finish it, but I'll show you. We don't have to show all the different sites. And then we'll do Fanduel. So what do I do? How do I show this in an intelligent way? Okay, so let's do this actually. We'll build this over here because I'm definitely not playing this. I'm definitely not playing Carlos Carrasco in my main buy, not in a million years. So what I'll do is I'll just go back to what I was saying. So I would probably play Kopech, and then I'll play Martinez, because those are the guys that I liked. And then I'd probably go and just load up on the Minnesotas. And because I have like all this money, I probably don't have to be I don't have to be price sensitive at all. So I could just look at here and what I got. So I'll just play these guys, Kepler, Correa, Buxton, Polanco. I mean, like, that's probably what I'll do, just to show you what it would look like. And then I can't obviously completely fill it out. But I mean, you got Kepler at 2,700. I mean, like, oh, Buxton's not in. No wonder. Okay, so you get Polanco here. And then you get play Correa. Oh, look how cheap these guys are. Are you kidding me? No wonder. No wonder here. Let me just see something. Arias. I mean, now you could just load up on these on the Torontos even. I mean, you got so much money to spend here. This is ridiculous. Play Guerrero is like easily, I guess the point is that I don't even need to have any of this savings at the pitching position. I mean, it's like kind of ridiculous. So what I can do, I know I have to go to Fanduel in a sec. Sorry. Let's go back to my projections here, and let's even forget about value score for a second. Even still, you have Kopech and Martinez, even from a raw points perspective. So this is a little nuts. Do I want to leave money on the table? I don't think I want to do that, but there's no reason not to. I mean, like, I could play Tampa's, I could play Kansas City's. So I guess these guys got a break. Let's do it. Well, Correa, you don't even need Correa. I could just go put in. Let's put in Bichette. Take out Correa. We'll put in Bichette. And then we could stack the crap out of this. We could play Kirk. So if we just focus even on these guys, he's only 2,300. You don't even need that. So maybe this is one of those slates where you don't even need to do full stacks. I mean, you could get these great plays. Now I could go to the next best roll-up stack. I mean, I could go to Boston, but then Boston is. So who do we like in Boston? You could play Devers at third. You could go to JD Martinez. I mean, you could afford all this stuff. This is nuts. And then you could play either Bogarts, Dahlbeck. I don't know. I'll leave this part to you. I gotta do my I gotta do my Fanduels, but let me just finish this one thing. Yeah, let's jam this in. Let's put this in like this. We could even we could do all kinds of nonsense here. Let's assign this for now, and then we'll see what we want to do. Okay, let's do FanDuel. Sorry, I know we're running out of time a little bit, but not really. Let's take a look at FanDuel. For FanDuel, I don't know. I'm still getting this Kopech character. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the LOL, Lucas. I think the slate already started. So my predictions are not going to be really worth all that much. Yeah, that slate started like 2 hours ago. So again, I guess it's Kopech from Fanduel. And then as far as stacks go, go right back to Toronto. I mean, Toronto, Tampa, Arizona. Play Chicago. It's pretty good. So somebody's bothering me here. Oh, shoot. So I got to deal with this. So this is all happening like live now. So what we have here, we have to. We're going into full degen mode. So we're going to pull up my horse racing real quick. So I have to deal with my pick six, my Mahoning Valley pick six carry over here. Let's see. So I got to change this. Let's race 4. So I have a little bit of time for that. Okay, so now for those of you that had any MMA questions, I guess I would refer you to my video, and if you had anything specific, you could fire it off here. It's a very, very difficult card, but you can check out my video, and my opinions there hold. You still have 4.5 hours to lock, and you want to play a couple of things over there, and I really haven't changed my opinion all that much. Oh yeah, Fred, you have no idea. Like this, DGen Saturdays is insane. I mean, I a lot of people take DFS off for the weekend. For me, I'm like busy during the week, so I don't play as much maybe as others during the week. But during the weekends, I got all these sports going on, and I get it all in before I have to go out and do stuff either for the day, or I know we're going out this evening, so I want to make sure to get all this stuff done. So I really, enjoy the building of the lineups and enjoying seeing how they pan out. The horse racing thing, that predates all of this. You know, let's take our first shot at getting a copyright infringement ban. Let's see. So this is BSO against ATE in League of Legends and Masters of, and this is basically the end of the slate for me. Like this matchup, I was hoping to be a lot more active, and the fact there are only 5 kills through 20 minutes basically means that my slate's dead, and that's the way it goes sometimes. And again, the NASCAR, I'm just the way they release the starting positions. It's just going to be. It's not going to be. It's going to be too late. I mean, I'm going to be already gone by the time that happens. So NBA, we're locked in, right? MLB, I have my lineups. Everybody's ready to roll. Okay. And yeah, I guess again for the NBA, because of all these different start times, it's probably smart to judge based on how you're doing early, to kind of like adjust things a little late. You know, if you're struggling early, you can go ahead and you can do whatchamacallit. If you're struggling early, you can I would increase the juice of your later plays, because if you're going to lose anyway, you may as well not be chalky, right? You know what I do want to do? Like let's see a little bit of ownership before this before I get out of here. Like let's see when these slates start what how owned these guys are. So let's take a look. What's first? So we have, is the NBA first? Yeah, the NBA is in 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, we're going to see how owned these guys are. And I will let you know right now, seeing as this is it's going to be the first game. Is Dallas game the first game? It is. So what we're going to do is I can tell you right now that I have 100% Spencer Dinwiddie in on DraftKings. So I'll know pretty quickly how I'm doing for the slate. And that Denver game, that doesn't go on until 8:30. Wow. So you got this is Christmas, right? You have the 1, the 3:30, the 6, the 8:30. So yeah. So I'm going to wait here and see where ownership comes in there. And then I'm also going to wait until the MLB slate starts. Now, just so you guys know also, I will make sure that before I do leave that the MLB, the hockey, maybe I'll just rerun the NBA too. Like before I get ready to go, I'm going to throw it up there, and then I'm going to be gone. So if there's anything that happens after 4 p.m. today, I am out. So that's why, again, as Rody was saying, I mean, like if you don't have my projections, you at least will, if you're SaberSim subscriber, you'll have those, and you'll have my early looks. That's the best I'm going to be able to do. All right, so 10, 9, I love it. The countdown to lock, and then what we'll do is we will pull up some ownership and see what we got. I think it takes a couple of minutes, right, before the ownership comes. All right, so we'll wait on that. Okay. And we'll also wait on the baseball to get the early look on the ownership over there as well. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do a horse racing video today. Just too little time, too swamped with other things. All right, let's go back and check on the LOL before we get to the ownerships. So we got, yeah, this is a total bust. Oh wait, hold on. So maybe BSO can see. This is one of these days I have to explain what the concept of what a weaver is. One of these days it applies. It's a backgammon term, but it's sort of DFS related. Like, you know, that situation where okay, so you have the favorite in a game and you need them to rack up the points, whether it be basketball, whether it be hockey, whether it be whatever, or whether it be League of Legends, right? And the thing is that they're in such control of the game that they just have no incentive to really pile it on, and you're almost rooting for the other team, like enough to just kind of like come back so that then you could just kind of put the hammer down again. So what a weaver is okay. Weaver actually was the name of the backgammon player, and what it basically means is that if someone has a sizable lead in a backgammon game, where normally they could try to double the stakes, they know that if they double the stakes now, the opponent is never going to accept it because the lead is just so big. So what a weaver is when you intentionally let the underdog back into the game, like you let the loser back into the game to make the decision a little closer whether they want to double the stakes or not. And you're hoping that the guy gets close enough to you that they'll play for more, but not too close that now you're not the favorite anymore. So that's the concept of a weaver, and a weaver is really, really big in League of Legends, because League of Legends, like when you're up here, like say 14-5, all you want right now is for the other team to kind of fight back a little bit, so that this game just continues, because all you want is just more deaths and more kills. And this happens in the NBA too. Like you have, say, Jokic and they're up 20. You want the other team to kind of come back so that Jokic has incentive to come and put the hammer down. So that's the concept of a weaver, and we will maybe one day we'll relive that concept. All right, let's pull up hopefully some ownership and see. Let's see if we can find some ownership here. Live. There it is, NBA. Okay, let's take a look. So, wow. Okay, so this is one thing I do see. I see Spencer Dinwiddie at 57% ownership. I guess I could show you this because I have Jordan Clarkson at 5%. This is a 4-game slate, and I've got Jordan Clarkson at 5% ownership. Okay. We shall see. Kleber's 40%. We knew that. Brunson, 28%. Makes sense. Royce O'Neal, 19%. Donovan Mitchell, only 5th. Man, they have no respect for these Utahs. Boy, oh boy. Okay. All right. I mean, they're making Bogdanovich 21%. I think listen, I've seen Mitchell in the playoffs enough to know that making him that low owned is okay. So here it is. Now they're going to just kill people. See, this is it. So they're going to kill this guy. Maybe they get one more kill, and then this is over, right? Yep. So they're going to win only 20 kills. Is that going to be enough to win? I don't know. Oh, okay. So just so you know, my screen name on DraftKings is MB Habes. M is in Mary, B is in boy, Habes. So if you want to, log into that contest, you can just check that out. And if you ever want to sweat on Fanduel, it's kind of harder to sweat on Fanduel, but the screen name there is Cookies Are Yummy, which is COCES ARYUME. So yeah, yeah, no problem. And I'll tell you this is that, well, I might actually listen. This slate doesn't end for like a long time, so I'll probably be back from Passover in time for that last game. So maybe we get a little sweat. I don't know. I'll promise you this: if we are deep in anything, we will definitely fire this thing up. You know. Okay, so did MLB start yet, or is that a 110? That is that's 3 minutes from now. So we'll wait on this one. Oh, some stuff started already. Oh no, it didn't. So we'll stay this for another 5 minutes. And then what I want to do, I want to see what my what these LOL lineups look like now. So interestingly, yeah, so these are pretty well, I wouldn't say in bad shape, but so this is from the Bison game. Yeah, so they did okay. So that's actually not too bad. This is my big one. My big one here hasn't even had anybody start yet. So these are the guys we're going to root for. We're rooting for X7 and Rogue and RGO. That's the big one. That's what we're rooting on. And let's take a look and see what the okay. So this looks like the nuts. Well, this is probably going to end up being the top lineup right now. Let's just see, because they didn't update these finals yet. So after they put the BSO finals up here, they see they didn't give them the win, they didn't do whatever. Let's see what the scores that we're going to have to be attacking are in the LOL. The other thing I want to do is I want to see if they have any starting positions in the NASCAR Truck Series yet. I doubt it, right? Let's go to NASCAR Trucks. Let's take a look. No, they don't have anything yet. So that's back to European Masters again. And what's the next game going to be? The next game is going to be what is the next one? It looks like the X7 one. All right, that's going to be a big one for me actually. We'll sweat that maybe a little bit. And then I got to do the all right, so it's 10 minutes until baseball. 5 minutes till baseball locks. So we'll get those lineups ready to look at. And let me make sure I have my horse racing done. So the next one of these is a minute 20. So we definitely have to keep an eye on that. But I have to change my horse racing thing before I forget. And then we'll get back to the baseball ownership. And then wait, so leg 4, make sure I have this. I guess I'll look at this later. All right, so that's the last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to take a look at the ownership in the baseball, and then I think I'm going to get out of here. Let's just see. All right, this is now done. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Baseball, did they throw it up here yet? Yeah, so let's just take a look. Okay, so nothing. I don't really have much. Okay, so you get Carrasco at 40% ownership. Are you kidding me? Good luck, everybody. Best of luck. Best of luck to all of you. Is that actually real? All right, well, do I even have any of him? I guess I have to have some if I use Saberson for some, but that's atrocious. I have 10% Carlos Carrasco, and it's probably 10% too much. But we shall see. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, I really hope that everybody plays Carlos Carrasco and suffers like everybody else that ever played Carlos Carrasco in the last 2 years. That will do it, I suppose. If I come back here a little, much later, it's going to be because we have a good sweat. And yeah, I hope this wasn't too stupid. Whatever, this is what I was doing, so I figured you guys would just join me. No, I didn't look at Keeneland today, Tanya. I didn't look at Keeneland today. I really don't like. I do have to kind of focus on this one other thing. So I'm gonna. Well, you know what? Screw it. You guys can watch me do that if you want. So I actually have to just redo. I have to take a look at this. You really want to watch this at the Mahoning Valley play here because I do want to play it, and there are a couple of scratches that I have to deal with. So hold on. You guys can feel free to just log off whenever you want, because now I'm looking at sheets for Mahoning Valley, which is literally the it's like the content that is least relevant to daily fantasy sports. So we're going to relook at all these races. So let's relook at, say, race 4. And you want a quick tutorial? So basically what you're looking at is the lower the number, the better here. So Insatiable Prince here runs about 27. So that's kind of like the what number you're going to look for. And this guy's could probably get there. Very similar. It looks like everybody except for the 6. 6 is going to run maybe hopefully a 21 or better. So this is probably a decent idea. And then you have Colch, but he's scratched. So you have Pour Me a Double, who's good. He's faster. So it's going to be those two. It's going to be this. It's going to be Pour Me a Double and Templeton Alley. So we're going to change that. We're going to just use Court Me a Double and Templeton Alley. And in the 5th race, I originally liked just 2 horses. So let's take a look. Soul Factor here. See race 6. Soul Factor 26 and 24. Flatter again is very similar. And Flatter again is really short, so I probably wouldn't use that. This horse is probably pretty good. The Ojora, you guys had at 20. The 4 is definitely next best. Cali Dream, no. This one's too slow, running 23s, Cause of Love. And then this one's probably no good either. So it is going to be just Ojora and A Smile a Day. Race 6, I originally just liked Strategic Bird. Let's take a look. So Lude is running about 33, 36. Off the Road again, maybe at 27. High Speed, pretty good. 3 and the 4 are both pretty long. But Kendall Grace is really strong. But this one, Strategic Bird, has a 12. So, I mean, this is probably going to win. But then this Beneath the Stars horse is good too. So we're going to add a couple, but that's pretty much it. Fourth and seventh, let's just double check race 7. Make good sense with about a 19, but then some off races. Big Trip, maybe a little bit better, but not a big deal. Long Live Justice, good enough. Unyielding, good enough. I mean, basically anybody can win this race, actually. And then race number 8, we're just double checking here. Often Enough, we're running about 26s. This one's a little bit faster. Wes Leonard looks pretty good. 4 looks pretty good. 5 looks pretty good. Even the 6. So let's put all these guys in. And then in the last race, 40s, get him. The 3 is not bad. I'm just double checking these. Lay It on Thick is good. Okay. So we're going to save this. Make sure I have enough money to put this in. Yep. So that is now in. Let me just make sure this is correct. Templeton out. Temple Maui, not pour me a double. Okay. And we're going to do one more change here. And then we'll be done. Don't like Mustang Willie. And then Wes Leonard. Why not? Okay. All right. So that's all I'm doing with you guys today. We'll get one quick look at. Wait, where are you? I lost you on my browser, so I have to find you now. So I did so many lineups, so many things that I now have like 75 different browsers open. I can't even find the restream. Love it. All right, so this game ended. And then, where are you? Here you are, right? Nope, not yet. How hard it is to even just get rid of you. Nope. Stop sharing. That's good. It's a good start. I'm going to find the restream for just one more set of questions if you guys have any. And then we'll get out of here. Okay. There it is. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, Joanne.